Hello, Amador County. I'm Tom Slivick. Welcome to TSPN's News for today. Let's take a look at our headlines. Amador County Unified School District Superintendent said facility study is underway. No closure plans exist, but one may be down the road. And Union AT&T at odds on negotiations. Amador Behavioral Health costs on a public hearing facility and technology is Wednesday, August 15th. Superintendent says facilities utilization study is looking to ensure district is maximizing curricular offerings to our students. An AWA special meeting will consider system-wide water rate consolidation and Proposition 218 notification. Forest Service expands forest fire restrictions in Dorado Forest. In the second half of the news, I'll speak with Supervisor Richard Forrester for a preview of this week's Board of Supervisors meeting. Stay with us. We'll have these stories when I return from the other side of the break. You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN. Everyone, and welcome back. Amador County Superintendent of Schools, Dick Glock, last week issued a response to a parent's inquiry in July about rumored school consolidation, saying that a facilities utilization master plan study has been undertaken, but there's no current plans to propose closures, but one may be down the road. Glock answered a list of questions asked during public comment for matters not on the agenda during a July 25th meeting of an Amador County Unified School District Board of Trustees. Seth Hoyt, Jr., father of 5 former district students, said he had heard from multiple sources that there were plans to combine the 2 high schools and close Ione Elementary School. He said many people in Ione remain bitter about losing their high school. President Trustee Wally Upper told Hoyt that the administration will answer all of his questions. Glock, in an August 1st letter to Hoyt, said, 3 years ago, when we asked employees for compensation concessions, we held meetings for all employees. At each site, a follow-up to those meetings was a parent community member meeting at every site. And Glock said in the letter, I was asked by parents at every site, have you looked at having one high school? And when are we going to have one high school? Glock said, each year at budget preparation time, really budget cutting time, I'm asked about one high school or possibly closing a school. We have no basis to answer these questions. Consequently, we have undertaken a study to see what is and what's possible. There are no plans at this time for any actions. Glock said there may be a proposal down the road, but we are not proposing any changes at this time. The facility study is motivated by declining enrollment and declining funding. Enrollment in 2012 is 3,900 students. That's down from 699 from the 10-year high of 4,599 in 2005. The district revenue also was down in 2011-2012, down to $20.7 million. That's down more than $1.5 million compared to fiscal year 04 and 05. AT&T workers in California and Nevada have had a 2-day walkout last week as union representatives reported violence between strikers and management and replacement workers at odds on the table. And members of Communication Workers of America, District 9, including 20 members of Amador County, Local 9417, walked out Wednesday, August 8th, after a strike was called by the leaders of the wireline workers. CWA 903 issued a statement saying the 2-day walkout was called on grounds of unfair labor practices regarding negotiations, as workers have been without a contract since April. Workers last week announced of the tentative agreement reached August 7th with 22,000 AWA wireline employees in 9 southern states, including general wage increases for most employees totaling 8% over 3 years. It promises qualified surplus employees a guaranteed job opportunity with AT&T, the company said, calling it an employment security provision that is virtually unheard of in most of corporate America today. AT&T has 2 other tentative agreements pending with 18,700 employees. CWA District 9 represents 18,000 workers in California and Nevada, and CWA 903 said its bargaining committee met with their company Thursday, August 9th, and management was handed a list of 20 incidents of our members being struck by vehicles and 1 instance of a manager trying to instigate physical altercations with picketers during the walkout. CWA released a portion of what the CWA bargaining chair, Tom Runyon, stated to AT&T. For the record, Ryan said, "What the company has experienced in the past 2 days is a product of its own actions. We've told you repeatedly on and off the record that the company's actions prior to and during these negotiations have created a level of morale and anger that will likely take years to reverse." He told the company, "You haven't listened to us, so our members spoke with their feet. This action was about multiple violations of our rights and the law during the process, which makes a mockery of the concept of good faith bargaining." Runyon said that AT&T bears sole responsibility of all of this. Over these 2 days, while we have peacefully exercised our rights, there have been stunning numbers of incidents of violence committed by managers and scabs, which have been horribly worse. And Runyon said CWA members are prepared to negotiate on all issues before us, but we are also prepared to react to the tone and direction of these negotiations. We have told you repeatedly that what you have on the table is not acceptable, nor is ratifiable by our members. He urged the company to move toward solutions our members can accept and said hiding behind tentative statements you've reached elsewhere will produce. The Amador County Behavioral Health Department hosts a public hearing Wednesday, August 15th, with its Mental Health Advisory Board to discuss the department's guiding documents, the capital facilities and technological needs component proposal, and the technological needs project proposal. The proposals being presented are funded by the Mental Health Services Act, passed in November 2004, provides increased funding, personnel, and other resources to support county mental health programs and monitor progress toward statewide goals for children, transition-age youths, adults, older adults, and families. The Act addresses a broad continuum of prevention, early intervention, and service needs and the necessary infrastructure, technology, and training elements that will effectively support this system. MHSA programs are funded through a 1% income tax on personal income in excess of $1 million, and the public hearing is set for 3:30 to 5 p.m. Wednesday, August 15th at the Health and Human Services Building at 1087 Conductor Boulevard in Sutter. The Amador County Superintendent of Schools, Dick Glock, answered some questions raised in July by a parent at the school board meeting, saying there is no plan for closures, but there is a facility study underway. Glock released a letter he wrote to Seth Hoyt, Jr. after Hoyt read a list of questions during the public comment period of the July 25th meeting of the Amador County Unified School District Board of Trustees. Hoyt's question started with, "Is it part of your planning to reorganize the district in some way that one or more schools will be closed and the high schools combined?" Glock answered that there is no plan at this time. We are gathering information. We are in the process of developing a facilities utilization master plan. Hoyt also asked, has the board or Superintendent Glock taken any measure toward this? Has any consultants done work and have been paid? And who authorized the payment to any consultants? Glock responded that neither the governing board or the superintendent currently have a plan to recognize the district. Hoyt asked, have you asked anyone, even informally, to evaluate the two high school campuses in this context? Glock said the facilities utilization master plan will summarize the existing facilities at each school, establish the capacity and limitations at each school site, compare district facilities against facility standards to identify facilities needs and opportunities, draw conclusions based on data in the plan, and recommend next steps for addressing district facility needs. He said, once again, we are gathering information. Glock said no actions have been taken and a study has begun to help us view how our facilities are being used for core subjects, elective courses, and special purposes. Hoyt asked if consultants have begun an evaluation. Do you have a plan to involve the public in this process? And if so, what is the plan? Glock said, at this time, there is no information and or proposed plan to share with the public. Hoyt asked what added benefits to our children's education stands to be gained. Glock said, we want to be sure we are maximizing our curricular offerings to students. Hoyt also said, if consultants have been hired or have done any work, I'm formally asking you to provide copies of requests for bids or any written analysis that has been generated. Glock responded, we will provide whatever documents we maintain that fall within the public records. Amador Water Agency Board of Directors President Gary Thomas called a special special meeting of the AWA Board for today, that is Monday, August 13th, to consider a system-wide water rate structure and a related notice informing ratepayers to the right to protest. The AWA on Friday issued a public notice of the special meeting, which is scheduled for 1:30 p.m. today, August 13th. The notice said that members of the public will have the opportunity to directly address the agency board of directors concerning any item listed on the special meeting notice before or during consideration of that item. The agenda includes discussion and possible action regarding the AWA system-wide rate structure, and also discussion and possible action regarding the draft Proposition 218 rate notice, including direction to set a public hearing date and to mail the notice. The meeting is set for 1:30 p.m. Monday, August 13th at the AWA office boardroom on Ridge Road in Sutter. I can tell you right now, it's hot out there. Okay. And our temperature is a high of 105. Look for that today with a low of 70. Winds west, northwest, 5 to 10 miles an hour. On Tuesday, hot, high 103. Low of 67. Winds west, southwest, 5 to 8 miles an hour. And on Wednesday, a little cooler, 102 with a low of 67. Stay with us. We'll have our interview with Richard Forster when I return from the other side of the break.
You're watching Amador County's #1 news and sports leader.